Welcome back. Happy Monday. My name's Colton from Ankeny Van Builds, and today we are going over another Webasto heater install. I've already posted a video about this in the past. I felt that it was fairly long-winded. This video, the goal is to simplify it as much as possible, make it as easy to understand in a shorter amount of time. So I have all the components put together right now for this heater, and I will also show you 3 things that you will have to buy. I'll provide the link in the description in order to assemble this entire contraption and make it all work. I know it's a very difficult install because there's no instructions, so hopefully this video helps. Before we jump into it, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do that. Leave a comment if this helped or if you have any questions, and to like this video. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and go over all these components. Starting with the 3 items you will need to purchase. First one being, I think it's called a Dorman-Bundy fuel line adapter. This right here plugs directly into the fuel tank of the Ram ProMaster. There's an auxiliary port, and I will show you guys that later, that this just clips right into. After that, what you'll need to buy is this 1/4 inch fuel line, as well as the 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch barbed adapter. So I don't have that yet, but that is what will connect these two at a 90-degree angle, allowing the fuel to come out of the fuel tank into these lines and into the heater. So going over the fuel components first, I just told you about these 3. This is what comes with the heater. You got fuel line, the fuel pump, these hoses right here, and up here. So on your heater itself, this is where the fuel goes in. So starting from the top, this will be your gas tank. The gas will come from here. You'll have to cut this fuel line, but it'll come through here. The intake part of the pump, it'll feed through the other side using the same 1/8 inch tube. Will go from here and into the heater itself. Now for the electrical, this part is a little bit more complicated, I guess. So starting with this bird's nest of stuff. It comes with this cannon plug. This cannon plug plugs directly into this heater, and the heater, this plate right here, is actually able to come off and flip around, so you can run the wires off of either side of the heater that you want. Coming through, you have your fuse right here and a guard. It's a 15 amp fuse, and the guard that comes with that. There's a plug right here that you connect your control head to, and then at the end they just give you the positive and the negative that you will have to strip and connect to whatever battery system you're using. Now to power the fuel pump, there is a clip on the front here that these blue and green wires can plug into, and then they just give you 2 bare ends of the electrical part here. So what you do with the fuel pump is you strip these 2 wires, you feed it through these clips. Those go into these little slots that you can barely see through the middle. This part comes out of the heater itself. It's already connected, and that goes through this part right here. And when those are secured in there and these ones are secured into here, you can then connect them, and that's what connects those lines together, powering your fuel pump. So up next you have the exhaust. It comes with these hose clamps. Same with the intake. The intake is the one that has the electrical wires coming out of it, and also this cylinder. This is kind of like a filter for the air intake. Then on top of this, we have another hose with some hose clamps. The heater also comes with some zip ties, this plate that you can use to mount the fuse to the wall or wherever you're going to mount it, and then these adhesive strips that go on the back of the control head. The heater also comes with this plate, and underneath it a rubber grommet, and then it's got these 4 holes right here to put bolts or screws to secure it to the floor. And then coming off the exhaust port of the heater itself, we have this ducting tube and this face plate where the heat will come out. Also with this fuel pump comes this harness that's used to mount it underneath the van, and it also comes with this bolt and a nut, but I tend to just use a washer and a self-tapping screw to drill into the metal frame of the van. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that cleared some things up for some people. Let's go ahead and go in the van. I'll show you where I'm going to be installing it and what I'm going to be using to do that. So most people that I see putting in these Webasto heaters tend to put it underneath the passenger seat. So what I came up with, and I really don't see anybody else doing this, is I put it right on the floor underneath the driver's seat. Then I build a step that comes up and goes up to the front, covering that heater and also acting as a place to put your feet when you're on the swivel seat, because the swivel seats are so high up that when you're sitting on it facing towards the inside of the van, usually your feet are dangling. So that gets rid of that problem too. So it's kind of like a 2-in-1 solution. What I did last time is I got a 4.5-inch hole saw that cut this huge circle here. And if you remember from my last video, that did not go well at all. All the teeth from the hole saw got dull very, very quickly, and it ended up not even being able to cut through. So I had to drill a bunch of little holes around that circle. So I'm gonna avoid that altogether, not doing that hole saw trick anymore. So what I am planning on doing is marking out a square where that'll cover all these holes. I'll drill 4 holes in each corner and then connect the lines with a metal cutting jigsaw. So hopefully that's a lot cleaner, goes a lot smoother, and I'm not spending an hour and a half trying to get a hole through the bottom of the van. So how I'm gonna do it is I have my drill with a 3/8-inch drill bit, and I'm gonna just drill 4 corners, similar to how I did with the MAXXAIR fan. Hopefully that works out. Okay, that went much smoother than the first time. So I would definitely recommend going for that method. Whenever you cut holes in the metal, you always file it down and spray paint it with some Rust-Oleum. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So now with it spray painted, I'm gonna go ahead and silicone around the edges and drop in the Webasto. So before on this, it had this green cover right on there. So when you take that out and you get what I showed you in the link in the description, go ahead and it's simple as that. You just click it right into place. I already started to run my fuel line all the way down through the bottom to the ground. So I'll leave this here while I wait for my barbed adapter to come, and that's what will connect those two. So down here you can see I went ahead, I used a self-tapping screw to put in the fuel pump, and right here I have the fuel line running, which is this cable right here, and that goes up into the bottom of the heater, and then here's the exhaust tube that comes out. You want to make sure that it comes out past the outside of the van. You don't want any of that exhaust pulling up underneath the van. And then right here we have our intake, and then I'll put that cylinder tube on the end in a little bit. So right now I just have it temporarily wired up, so this bed frame is going to go across like this, and it's going to hide all these cables, but right now I just have it plugged in to see if it'll work. So check that out. Looks like we have power. We'll set the day. Today's a Thursday. Right now the time is 14:48. Because I do not have the fuel line connected yet, I'm not going to do heat because I don't want it trying to pull from the fuel tank because it's not set up yet. So let's just see if it'll work. We'll go ahead and vent. Go level 4 and 10 minutes. Sure. So we should hear it fire up. There it is. Cool. So seems like everything is working as it should. So pretty exciting. So I think it's pretty amazing how last time I did this, it took me about 3 to 4 days to do it, and today I finished it in like 5 hours. So I know this video was super down and dirty, really quick. I really just wanted to simplify the process and the video just to give you a good idea of the way I install it. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys are subscribed and hitting that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.